Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, everything really depending on the guests. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter, you know me as PD Beats. You'll recognize my guest from Too Hot to Handle on Netflix, which is taking the world by storm. We are with Sharron Townsend. Sharron, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
How's the quarantine been for you so far?
Oh, it's cool, man. Not quite like how we were in Mexico, but I mean, similar circumstances. Just trying to be safe, because this is very severe. So I'm taking care of my family, trying to practice good habits.
Absolutely. When did you kind of find out about Too Hot to Handle, and when did you find out that it was going to be kind of take place like in Mexico?
So I actually was on a casting website called Backstage. I came across the casting, and it initially all it said was, would you like to enjoy paradise in a remote location with a bunch of singles? And I'm like, yo, that's literally down my alley. Like, I'm like, yo, like, how perfect can this be? So, and it was weird because you'll see a lot of scam emails on there, like fake castings and stuff like that. So I applied, did a Skype call. I knew it was just a foreign company just because of the interviewer's voice. She had an accent. So did that. They ended up flying me out to LA maybe 2 weeks later. And then maybe 2 weeks after that, they was like, hey, you got accepted. But they hadn't told us where we were going, what we were doing. They told us, hey, you need to go get these shots, A through Z. You need to go renew your passport. So I'm like, all right, cool. So they gave us our departure information.
Departure, yeah.
Departure information, but they still hadn't told us where we were going. So he was like, oh, you're leaving from here at this time. Maybe it was probably 2 days before we had to fly out. They said, hey, you guys are going to Mexico. I'm like, dope. But at the time, they still hadn't told us the premise of the show. So we're like, all right, what the heck is going on? I mean, and I knew it was a reality show, so I figured it would have been something like that we've seen. Jersey Shore, I thought it was going to be something like Jersey Shore or Real World or something of that sort. So got to Mexico, went through the first day of filming, meeting the cast. Everything was great. And I'm like, okay, like, yo, this is literally like heaven on earth. And then we got the bombshell that there was these list of rules that we hadn't discussed or that we didn't know about. So it kind of took us by storm. I'm like, yo, damn, y'all brought us here for church, like for church retreat, like sex therapy. Like, who wants to do that? So that's how it all started.
Big question when I talk to people that are on reality shows or competition shows, it's 50-50 split down the middle. We'll see where your answer kind of goes. But did you watch or were you a fan of reality TV before Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah, so I've been a fan. So I actually was on a reality show called MTV's Undressed, where I went on dates on a date in my underwear. So I did that. So I kind of was familiar. I mean, I was a fan of Jersey Shore. Like Jersey Shore was like one of my big things. Real World, coming up in that era, Real World was a big thing for us too. So I was always a fan. So that's why I was so eager once we heard that, like, hey, you guys have the opportunity to go on something that I figured would have been like one of those shows that I grew up.
No, for sure. What? Oh, it keeps going black. Do you see that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, so I can edit it, so it's fine. But I got you back, so I'm gonna go back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What I find really interesting too is it hasn't even been 2 weeks. I mean, it's been like a week since Too Hot to Handle was dropped on Netflix, and it's nuts. But I expected it to be nuts. Did you expect it to be nuts, Sharron?
So honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, we know it was going to. So after we started filming, I think like the first day they said, hey, it's going to be on Netflix. It's a Netflix show. And so like, Netflix has a great reputation for producing great stuff. So, I mean, we knew the content was going to be great, but we didn't know how the public or media or people were going to perceive it or take it because, I mean, people love drama. They love shows like, Bad Girls Club, stuff where there's a lot of excitement or a lot of drama. So once we realized the premise of the show, I didn't really know how people were going to think. I'm like, no lie, I didn't, because I wasn't really too much of a fan of the idea when I was there. So I was kind of thinking in my own, like, with my own thought, like, similar to how people probably was perceiving, like, hey, like, oh, we're gonna put people on the island and tell them they can't have sex. Like, how interesting could that sound? So no, I had no idea how like huge this was going to become. So it was a shock to me, and I felt like it kind of literally happened overnight. We had a few different times where we thought it was going to be released. So, and for them to say, hey, it's going to happen in April, it's going to happen in April. Like, it literally took us all by like a shock.
But I think it's like, yeah, I understand you and the cast and crew didn't really know what to expect. But I mean, from the consumer point of view, Netflix has this formula or algorithm with the reality TV right now where we've seen a lot of success with The Circle and with Love is Blind and now with Too Hot to Handle. So it's good to see that as well.
Right. And I mean, and you know, like, they have a standard, like you said, they have a standard. So I mean, I did see Love is Blind, I did see The Circle, and I was a fan of both. So like, when I looked at them, I'm like, hey, like, it has to be something. You see what I'm saying? Like, one, I know Netflix is probably not going to just take any project at that. So like, for them to say it was going to be on Netflix, I knew we had high expectations in terms of quality, but that still didn't mean that people were going to love it as much as they do.
One of the biggest storylines of the show was Sharonda, correct?
Yes, that was one of the biggest storylines.
Now I'm seeing, there was an Instagram live. I don't know. I mean, people are kind of asking you. I mean, it doesn't. You guys aren't together anymore, correct?
No, we are not together. So we're not together, but I mean, we still have a great relationship. We're still friends. And we tell everyone, Sharon is still a thing. We're not a couple. It's not a relationship thing, but I mean, our friendship is still there. And if people want to refer to us as Sharonda, like, we're not opposed to anything. Like I said, we're still great friends.
It has a good ring to it, though, right, Sharonda?
Yeah, it does. Sharonda. I mean, that was something that we also joked about while we were filming. Like, Sharonda. Like, once we got together, that was like kind of one of the things we threw out. Like, Sharonda has a ring to it. And then the cast just loved it, and that's how they refer to us even while we were filming, like Sharonda or the couple. So yeah, it had. I mean, it has an amazing ring to it. And I must say, we look good together, man. We look good together.
I'm waiting for the parody video. You remember the song My Sharona by the Knack? You remember that song?
No, I haven't seen it.
My Sharona. So someone's got to make a video. My Sharonda.
Sharonda. Look, you might as well be the first person to do it, man. Look, you spoke it up, so you might as well do it. I got high expectations for you, man.
It's an old classic rock classic song, and it just, that would be funny to see. But It's nuts to see. I mean, you look at, from a social media perspective, Sharon. I mean, it's kind of blown up, and it's not even been like a slow burn. Like, it's kind of hard for you to kind of, like, maybe you'll have a plan of how you're gonna kind of dissect everything, but I mean, it's just kind of continues to rev up. So It's like, how's that been for you?
It's been great, but kind of annoying at the same time, in the sense that, like, it's like my life is just a drastic change. It's like a shock. So I'm still trying to figure out how to, like, handle all of this, how to juggle it. Like, I mean, like, not even 2 weeks ago, I had 14,000 followers, and now I'm up at 550K followers. So it's like my life just drastically, and I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? To whom much is given, much is expected. So, I mean, I've always said I wanted a platform or a voice where I can speak to and motivate the youth. And now that I have it, it's just like all this stuff comes with it. So I'm learning how to deal with it, man. I've had a great support system, because it can be a lot. Like, I mean, definitely being under scrutiny or having your life just thrown out there and people criticizing everything you say and everything you do. It could be a lot. It can definitely be a lot.
No, it can be a lot for sure. I want to know a little bit about, what are you into, like, outside from the show? I mean, you see like the discussions you have with cast members and contestants and everything, but like, what are you into? Like, did you grow up playing a lot of sports? Like, give our viewers a little background about yourself, like pre Too Hot to Handle, Sharon.
All right, pre Too Hot to Handle. So I actually am one of 6 boys. My mom was a single parent. Grew up in Camden, New Jersey. And shortly thereafter, years later, 8th grade, I ended up going to Milton Hershey boarding school. My mom thought that would give me a better opportunity, give me the lifestyle that she couldn't really provide for me at the time. So I've always been an athlete. I use sports as a way to stay out of trouble. So I ran track, I played soccer, I played football, I did karate, I did jujitsu.
I like that.
Currently
To
still
stay
do
out of
jujitsu.
trouble. I like that.
Yeah,
That's a
man,
good
just
thing for
stay out of
people that
trouble.
want to get into sports. I like that.
Yeah, man. So I use sports as an avenue to keep me out of trouble and hopefully to provide an opportunity to probably go to college. So um, I wrestled all through high school. Had an amazing just breakout career. Went wrestled Division 1. So wrestling was always my thing. That was my opportunity to kind of do something I was good at, kind of make a name for myself, and also build up that platform I keep speaking of to give me the voice that I needed. Once I graduated, I got into more so modeling.
Gotcha.
I was a funny looking kid. I was a funny looking kid growing up. So modeling, like I started like to enhance my look started to come around more so like once I want to say junior year of college, I really started filling in. You know, I got the beard and all that good stuff. So then I got into modeling, but I've always been outgoing. I've been into traveling. I studied abroad in South Africa. I've been in numerous places, but giving back is probably one of the biggest things I love to do. Whether that's community service, mentoring, or anything of that sort.
So that's pretty hot to handle. What
That's pretty hot
about
to handle.
what's next for Sharron Townsend?
So what's next?
Obviously, a lot's up in the air right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, hopefully, once this coronavirus stuff is done, I plan to relocate probably to LA. And I would like to. Well, I'm actually working on a book right now. Currently,
Nice.
it's almost done. It's called Sharron Townsend: Naked Triumph Through Tragedy. And naked is because I am breaking down all the barriers. I'm breaking down the materialistic stuff, the too hot to handle. You see, like I'm trying to let people know who I am prior to all of this, and I'm trying to inspire the kids that no matter where you come from or what you go through, that don't determine who you are. Like your upbringing, your environment, like don't let that determine who you are because a lot of kids think, oh, I come from this, I can't make it here. You see what I'm saying? Like it seems like a hoop dream to a lot of kids, but I want kids to know, like, hey, I come from where you are. I empathize with you. I understand you because that was once me. And now look at me. I'm someone that people look up to. So it's possible. It's achievable. With hard work, dedication, determination, you can make it. So my book is going to be coming out. So that's kind of in the pipeline right now to what I'm trying to do. I also write music for fun. It's not really anything like, I mean, I won't never consider myself a rapper or anything, but I write what I feel. And a lot of people have related to like a song that I put out a few years ago. So I have some music that I want to drop, but other than that, man, it's just like now I have the platform. I want to start motivational speaking, giving back to the youth, giving back to the community, letting kids know like you're powerful, you're a king, you're a queen. You see what I'm saying? Like you can do it.
That's amazing, man. That really is amazing. Thank you so much for coming on Popternative to chat about Too Hot to Handle, Sharon. I really
No problem.
had a blast chatting with you, man. Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm Sharron Townsend Official.
Yep.
On Facebook, I'm Sharron Townsend. You can follow me on YouTube at Sharron Townsend. And also, I made a TikTok, but I don't know how to dance, and I don't know how to work the app yet. So I'm still learning. But once I get a gist and get the hang of it, I'll be putting up TikTok videos. But I definitely appreciate you inviting me on here to speak with you, man. It's been a pleasure. But I do have to ask you something. What was your favorite episode of Too Hot to Handle?
I liked kind of I always liked the first couple, like where you kind of get to know everyone. So episode
Yeah.
1 and 2. I mean, obviously, you know, like middle, you know, episode 5 and 6. A lot of people were talking about that, but like I kind of liked getting my like introducing like everyone, like getting to know everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My intro has been a big talking point, man. Yeah, man. It's actually crazy, but like I said, man, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I shot this not knowing what to expect. Came out with the platform. I came out with a voice. I came out with just so many, and it's crazy how. I mean, I've gotten a few messages from when it first aired, like people that has only made it through the first 2 episodes or so. I'm like, yo, like you're a scumbag, or we hate you, oh you're a dick.
There's
But then
definitely
it's
like
people-
villain. Your intro. There's definitely kind of that villain appeal
Vibe,
a
right,
little bit.
right.
Yeah, there
Appeal
is
to
for
it. Yeah,
sure.
definitely. So I definitely understand it, but as people have made it through the season, I mean, you got to see these same people are coming back and they're like, yo, like I empathize with you as well. You see what I'm saying? Like I understand you. I understand why you are the way you are. But like I said, the best part about this whole thing is that I've been getting messages from kids and just even older people saying like how much my story has inspired them to be better or have taught them lessons that or they've endured the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So I think, man, I literally think what I wanted has happened plus some. Like I've become a better man because of it. I'm able to motivate people. And people always ask like, would you recommend this for other people? And I'll say, yeah. And I definitely would recommend a retreat or Too Hot to Handle for anybody because I feel like everyone can benefit in some way, whether you came there broken or torn or hurt from a past relationship or it's just other things that you're dealing with. It just teaches you how to wash up, and no pun intended, but like wash off labels and just be fresh, like be you. And yeah, like be you. It just teaches you how to be you. So I feel like I can't put an age limit on who would be good or not for this. I think it's just, and a lot of people, I think, and I mean, I care about everybody, but I feel like who would benefit from it most would be also like kids in urban areas, like kids that look like the me. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like not having a positive role model, not having a father figure, not having a lot of kids out here look and feel just like me. Like they are broken, they are tarnished, or they've had hardships and stuff like that, and it's just like, yo, you're still valuable.
You're firing me up now, man. Motivation. Yeah, you're firing me up, man.
Yeah, man. Like broken crayon still color. No matter how broken you feel you are, you can still draw a beautiful masterpiece. So I think that's literally what I've taken away from Too Hot to Handle. That there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to endure or come across in your life, but like what don't break you only make you stronger. So I've walked away through all of that stuff, and I feel like I'm a stronger person. You see what I'm saying? Like now I know that being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak. I know that crying doesn't mean you're less of a man. It's just like, yo, I've learned so much from this few weeks that I was on this retreat. So yeah, man, like I said, I'm thankful for you, man. I'm thankful for the ability to share my story. You see what I'm saying? Like interviewing or talking to people like you that really they care about more than just the drama aspect or why Rhonda and I aren't together or like.
I mean, I had to my Sharonda, man. I had to ask a little bit.
I know. No, I definitely understand it, man. But like I said, I appreciate you for giving me the voice or giving me the opportunity to also say it's deeper than Too Hot to Handle. You see what I'm saying? Like this is just the beginning of what I'm trying to accomplish. And I mean, like
for sure, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome. No, it's amazing. Thank you. I love your energy, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Be sure to check out Sharon and the rest of the cast on Too Hot to Handle, which is streaming now on Netflix. And until next time, this is Sharron Townsend and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.